It's Christmas time, and what better way to celebrate than to take your Middle-earth strategy battle game miniatures, put it in some do-it-yourself ornaments, and hang it up on your Christmas tree. Here, I made a Gandalf, but now I'll go through the process with you on how I created something similar. Here goes. It all started finding these clear plastic bulbs at the dollar store of varying sizes. This one is a fairly small one, and it actually fits, Frodo Baggins or any of the hobbits perfectly. So, in taking a piece of paper, first off, I started to do an outline of the tracing, of the diameter or the circumference of the globe itself. Taking a protractor, or compass, I just drew in a small circle on the inside to kind of give it a little bit more of the ledge that I'm going to use, the platform where I'm going to put the miniature into the globe. So it's not completely like half in there. Taking my X-Acto knife, I cut around the edges. Doesn't have to be perfect. I'm not too concerned. It's only going to be up in the tree for, at most 2 weeks. You could use a Cricut machine or any other type of paper cutting machine to make a perfect circle if you wish. That's up to you. Then I traced it and cut out onto a piece of poster board, something similar you find in any of the dollar stores. This one happened to be Dollarama here in Canada. I could have used white or black, but I had black on hand. After cutting the circle and testing it, it seems to be that it would fit in fairly well and fairly deep enough that you could fit the miniature in without it touching the top. So far, so good. Next, we want to remove some of the paper backing from the particle board so that you can do some minor details into it instead of just having a plain black or plain white background. Letting that sit for a while, I take a piece of some painter's tape and I'm tracing out an outline of a cutout for a hobbit smile, a hobbit hole window that I'm going to use and tape it into the back of the globe and then spray it with the fake snow spray that you would normally see, and I'll show it to you now in a bit. So taking the X-Acto knife, carefully cutting out the pieces, keeping in mind that you just want to have the frame of the window cut out. So taking some artificial snow spray, $2.25 at the local Dollarama, I then sprayed it. And it's off camera, as you can see here to the top. Now, one of the things I wanted to do to ensure that the miniature stayed was to actually keep it in place. The models are already magnetized underneath with just a small paper clip at the base, and just outlining the small magnet for the center. I then proceeded to, make some brickwork and stonework into the pattern to kind of give it a little bit more of a, walking stone kind of feel to it. Give the ornament a little bit more detail if somebody was looking close up. Next, I use some Mod Podge to kind of seal it, so when you're painting it, it doesn't kind of ruin the foam. Some paints will eat away at the foam core, and this just kind of seals it, makes it stiffened. So, sealing it appropriately, letting it dry for a few minutes. It doesn't take too long, especially if you use a hairdryer and whatnot. Next, using a bit of granite gray from Plaid, little small bottles you can get at any of your local craft stores, Walmart, or dollar stores to start coloring in a lot of the stonework and giving it a little bit of color and a little bit of depth. Next, territorial beige, a little bit of brown. Again, finding these paints at your local craft, dollar store or Walmart. And then adding a little bit more gray color, we're going to do a pewter gray. No need to be too careful. Kind of keep it within the lines. That is looking okay. Looking good. Not my best work, but who cares? Next, I want to give it a black wash. Now, I had created some of this earlier for some of the other craft stuff I was doing before. And it's just a bit of black paint, black crafter's paint, and then a water. Basically a 10-to-1 dilution. And then you want to spread it over liberally, maybe doing 1 or 2 coats and doing as you darken as you desired. And it just kind of dulls the colors in the paint a little bit more. Gives it a more grittier, grimier look. Experiment, see what works for you. Doesn't take too long. I also took some of that fake snow and actually sprayed over it to kind of give it a sense that, yeah, Frodo here is walking along a path. And as you can see, with the base already being magnetized with a small paper clip, plus then the magnet in the center, he's pretty secure and can move around without any issue, without falling over or even ruining the paint job. Next up, we're going to peel off the painter's tape of the window that we looked at earlier. And careful not to chip away at any of the other snow that's there that you want to keep in place. I used a set of tweezers and just carefully lifted off the painter's tape from the globe. And it comes off real easy. Once done, you can kind of see the effect here. And this will be at the back of the globe itself, and being able to shine light through, and you can kind of see through from the front. Well, it looks good. I had tried a number of things to set the base in. I even tried to glue it, but it didn't really work out that well. But I just found that because of the size of the platform itself, and it sitting in pretty nicely, and then also having some of this fake puffy snow, it actually sits in there really well and secure, and even with a bit of movement and moving around, even setting into the tree, it actually works out pretty good. And again, you can take it apart and actually get your miniature after the Christmas is done. So I thought it turned out really well. And all I did afterwards is kind of clean it up a little tiny bit, remove some of the extra snow that I didn't want on there, and then sealed it up. And here's the final product. Something to add to your Christmas tree, give it a little bit more of that Middle-earth feel to it, and also display your miniatures that you've painted throughout the year. Just something fun, I thought, to do when seeing these clear plastic globes at the dollar store. Now, if I only could find one to fit the Balrog that I had, would be great. But, as some suggested online, maybe Balrog could be used as the tree chopper. But I'm not sure my spouse would approve. Again, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. Thank you for watching, and hopefully you enjoyed the video. If you haven't done so already, please like, subscribe, comment, and please share. And also check out my other videos, mostly about the One Ring RPG and other Middle-earth related material.